Hi everybody. A while ago I made 4 videos in a little series in an attempt to describe how the multiverse works. The first one was called How Some Aliens Travel. The second one was called Time, the Complexity of Time. The third one was called The Gap in Time. And the fourth one was called Destruction of Recreation of Life. Now, you'll have to excuse me because this one that I'm going to do now, which I've called Individual Universes, is so complicated that I can't possibly remember all that I've got to say, so I wrote it down and I'm actually going to read it. So please excuse me for doing that. Okay, here we go. I just finished the 4th video on the destruction and recreation of life and sat back satisfied that I'd finished all that I needed to do when a guide said to me, "You've got at least one more video to make on this topic." And he gave me some more information. This was so difficult to understand that I, in conjunction with a friend, thought about it for a long time before I felt able to make a video on the subject. And this is that video. I hope you're going to be able to understand what I'm going to say, but it really is bizarre. If you've never heard of any of this, it's really bizarre. Let's go. I mentioned that all that exists. In a previous video, I mentioned that all that exists is made from one subatomic particle whizzing about, creating all that we see and all that exists anywhere in the multiverse. But what is new to me is this. Because we, humans, have independent thought, the particle whizzing about cannot make just one reality. You and I and everyone live in total separate universes. The universe that you live in and the universe that I live in are not the same universe. They are completely different. I've got to turn the page, excuse me. The universe that you live in is being specially created exclusively for you by your thoughts, hopes, desires, ambitions, and by your life plan. Those thoughts go out to a group of archangelic beings called the Directors of Life, who tell this singularity to create the universe that you need. So it is created and you live in that universe, and for you, nothing exists outside of it. You live in this one unique bubble of time and space, experiencing things that are being created exclusively for you, and nothing exists outside of that bubble as far as you are concerned. And the same is happening for me. I have my own exclusive thoughts, hopes, desires, and life plan, and so these thoughts go out to the Directors of Life who create a universe exclusively for me. I live in this bubble of time and space that has been created exclusively for me. This is being done for every person on the face of planet Earth. For every person alive today, the singularity, that's that little particle whizzing about, under the control of the Directors of Life, create a separate, exclusive universe for every single person. As time doesn't exist and there is only the now moment, this is being also done for every person who has lived in the past or will live in the future. Also, for every person who lives in the heavenly spheres, and for every alien, I suppose. For each and every one of these countless beings, a separate universe, a separate reality is being created. Okay, now, I don't know if you can wrap your mind around that, but that's only the beginning. Now, it's a bit more complicated than that because most of us live with families and we have friends. Normally, those people would not exist in our reality, but by common agreement, we interact with those people and they are included into our reality for a while. The same with work buddies or schoolmates. They still live in their separate, unique universes, but by common agreement, they share some of their universe with us and we with them. If someone drops out of our shared reality, they just cease to exist as far as we are concerned. They're no longer made. For example, if we fall out with a friend, we stop seeing that friend, and then the singularity ceases to create that friend, and that friend ceases to exist as far as we're concerned. Now, obviously, we could telephone that friend if we wanted, and then that friend would instantly be recreated for the time that we're talking to him on the telephone. But other than that, if he drops out of our life, he ceases to be made. Now, we go even deeper down the rabbit hole. You live in your bubble of time and space and experiences. In order to save energy, the singularity under the control of the directors of life do not create for you the whole galaxy that you live in all the time. Excuse me, I've got to turn over again. They only create as much of it as you need for your immediate needs. This means that anything that you do not need to have around you at this microsecond, anything that you cannot see at the moment, anything that you are not thinking about, including people, plants, animals, do not exist in your reality. It's not that they are just outside of your need to know, but they do not actually exist. The directors of life do not bother to make anything that you don't need for your immediate bubble of reality. This obviously applies to all people. The directors of life tell the singularity to create for each and every person only what that person needs for his immediate needs. Excuse me. This means, for example, if you live in a place, a house or an apartment or whatever, that has several rooms, but you are in one room watching this video and concentrating on this video, all the other rooms do not exist for the moment. They will only be created for you as you move out of the room that you're in and go into other rooms. The same with the outside world. Only what you can see through a window or hear exists. All the rest does not exist. If you go to bed and sleep, then your whole galaxy ceases to be made and only springs back into existence when you wake up again. Now I'm going to give you another example. You presumably live in a house or an apartment somewhere. I imagine that you wish to go to a supermarket some distance away. If you cannot see the supermarket, it doesn't exist for the moment. Now, I will qualify that by saying, if you start to think about it, you say, oh, I hope I can find a place to park and when I go in the supermarket, I've got to get some baked beans and they're in alley number 5, and I've got to get some tomato sauce and that's in alley number 6, and you're visualizing the supermarket, then the supermarket springs into existence for a moment. But if you're busy getting ready to go out, having a wash, combing your hair, wondering if it's getting dressed, wondering if it's raining outside and so on, the supermarket doesn't exist. Okay, now you get in your car and you set off. As you go down to the road towards the supermarket, the scenery in front of you is being constructed as you, in this bubble of time and space, progress. Eventually, you arrive at the supermarket, there it is, and you do your shopping. In the meantime, your house or apartment and the road leading to it, behind you, has disappeared. The directors of life tell the singularity not to bother to create it for you until you return home. Then it's all recreated for you. Now I'm going to tell you something even stranger, and this will be, actually you can check this out the next time you go to a supermarket. It's a fun thing. If the supermarket is busy, you will see countless men, women and children pushing shopping trolleys and doing their thing. They'll be of different races and there'll be different dress styles and so on, but you know what I'm talking about. But these people are not real people. They are characters that your mind has created in order, we're coming to the end, to fulfill your expectations of what a supermarket should look like. They are called background people. Background people. So next time you go to a supermarket, observe these people. You will see them wandering about, totally ignoring you. You are in fact alone in the supermarket, but your mind has created all these people. Of course, if you speak to one of them, they enter your reality and then they spring into life. But if they're not directly connected to you in some way, they exist only to fill the scene that you expect when you go into a supermarket. But from their own unique reality, they do exist, in which case you would be a background figure in their reality. Now, I'm just going to explain how that works in a different way, and then I'll stop. Imagine that you're making a film, and you're the writer, the director, the creator of the film, and also the leading actor. You stand in front of the camera, and you start acting, doing your thing. Now, imagine, for example, the scene takes place in a road. You would expect to see cars going up and down the road. You would expect to see people walking up and down the road, crossing the street and all the rest of it. But they're not actually playing any leading role in your film. They are just these background actors, these extras that are hired to fill the scene up to make it look real. Well, that is what those people are in a supermarket. And you can prove it by just wandering about and looking at them. And it's quite interesting once you apply this thought to that. Okay, now, I've laid a lot on you. I don't expect all of you to understand it. But I was told to tell you this, and I've told you. And for those who can understand it, I thank you. For those who can't, I thank you for listening anyway. And I'll talk, because there's another aspect of it that's got to come up, dealing with parallel realities. This one was individual realities. Now, after that, I've got to try and make one about parallel realities. But we'll worry about that another day. Okay, I'll say goodbye to you here, and thank you for listening to me. Bye.